Okay, let's do this. Welcome, welcome. It's Kai D. Clifford, and this is the Spiritual Abundance Book Club. Right now, we are in the middle of reading Neville Goddard's The Power of Awareness. This is such a fantastic book. Now, if you've missed the previous episodes, don't worry, you can jump in right here, or you can watch the replays on my page or at my book club archive, which is at www.spiritualsuccessjourney.com/book club archive. Okay, you can also sign up there. I've actually put the link here with this video. Sign up there to get notified of future book clubs. And right before we jump in, make sure you like and follow or subscribe, depending upon which platform you're watching this on. So that way more people get to see this. And of course, you will be showing this stuff again in the future. Now, guess what? You probably know this if you have been here before, but in case you're new here, each time that you watch a Spiritual Abundance Book Club, you have the opportunity to get a secret training with me. Now, all you have to do is watch till the end and comment at least once, okay? And when you watch till the end, I will give you a keyword. All you have to do is DM me the keyword, make sure you've commented once on either platform, Facebook or YouTube, and you will receive a quick but potent and powerful spiritual exercise to drop deeper into your power and create change in your life. Okay, so there's one per video. So if you go back and watch them all, you're welcome to have them all. You just DM me the keywords. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? Okay. We are up to chapter 12, subjective control. Your imagination is able to do all that you ask in proportion to the degree of your attention. All progress, all fulfillment of desire depends upon the control and concentration of your attention. Attention may be either attracted from without or directed from within. Attention is attracted from without when you are consciously occupied with the external impressions of the immediate present. The very lines of this page are attracting your attention from without. Your attention is directed from within when you deliberately choose what you will be preoccupied with mentally. It is obvious that in the objective world, your attention is not only attracted by, but is constantly directed to external impressions. But your control in the subjective state is almost non-existent. For in this state, attention is usually the servant and not the master, the passenger and not the navigator of your world. There is an enormous difference between attention directed objectively and attention directed subjectively, and the capacity to change your future depends on the latter. When you are able to control the movements of your attention in the subjective world, you can modify or alter your life as you please. But this control cannot be achieved if you allow your attention to be attracted constantly from without. Each day, set yourself the task of deliberately withdrawing your attention from the objective world and of focusing it subjectively. So obviously he's talking about here that the objective world is out here. So like watching me, like the television, anything on Facebook, the people that you listen to, anything that's happening in the world outside of yourself. And the subjective world, he's saying, is your inner imagination, right? Your inner world, your feelings, everything inside of you. Okay, so withdraw your attention from the objective world and focus it subjectively. In other words, concentrate on those thoughts or moods that you deliberately determine, the ones that you wish to experience. Then those things that now restrict you will fade and drop away. Now, this is why I'm a big proponent of how problem solving actually causes more problems, because that's using your subjective world to imagine up more problems, or even the exact problem that you're scared of, that you're thinking that you need to solve, by thinking, well, how am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? Am I going to do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? You're actually creating the very problem that you are scared of. You're actually just meant to jump to the outcome that you desire and imagine that and savor it and feel it until it starts to appear in your reality, and you'll just get ideas come to you and they just whoop, drop into your head really easily. So that's why in my book Think Like a Visionary, I really teach about how to do a lot of what Neville's talking about, really, but it's really for those of you that are problem solving a lot. You want to get out of problem solving and let yourself use this method of imagining what you want, assuming the feeling of it and choosing it consciously, rather than being like swept away by the ocean tide of distractions. Okay. The day you achieve control of the movements of your attention in the subjective world, you are a master of your fate. So when you can control your imagination, you will no longer accept the dominance of outside conditions or circumstances. You will not accept life on the basis of the world without. Here's coming undone. Okay. Having achieved control of the movements of your attention and having discovered the mystery hidden from the ages that Christ in you is your imagination, you will assert the supremacy of imagination and put all things in subjection to it. Chapter 13, acceptance. Man's perceptions are not bounded by organs of perception. He perceives more than sense, though ever so acute, can discover. William Blake, There is no natural religion. However much you seem to be living in a material world, you are actually living in a world of imagination. The outer physical events of life are the fruit of forgotten blossom times, results of previous and usually forgotten states of consciousness. They are the ends running true to oftentimes forgotten imaginative origins. Whenever you become completely absorbed in an emotional state, you are at that moment assuming the feeling of the state fulfilled. If persisted in whatsoever you are intensely emotional about, you will experience in your world. These periods of absorption, of concentrated attention, are the beginnings of the things you harvest. It is in such moments that you are exercising your creative power, the only creative power there is. At the end of these periods or moments of absorption, you speed from these imaginative states where you have not been physically to where you were physically an instant ago. In these periods, the imagined state is so real that when you return to the objective world and find that it is not the same as the imagined state, it is an actual shock. You have seen something in imagination with such vividness that you now wonder whether the evidence of your senses can now be believed. And like Keats, you ask, was it a vision or a waking dream? Fled is that music. Do I wake or sleep? This shock reverses your time sense. By this is meant that instead of your experience resulting from your past, it now becomes a result of being in imagination where you have not yet been physically. In effect, this moves you across a bridge of incident to the physical realization of your imagined state. The man who at will can assume whatever state he pleases has found the keys to the kingdom of heaven. The keys of desire, imagination, and a steadily focused attention on the feeling of the wish fulfilled. To such a man, any undesirable objective fact is no longer a reality, and the ardent wish no longer a dream. Let me just fix my hair a bit. Here we go, like that. Yes, that'll do. To such a man, any undesirable object fact is no longer a reality, and the ardent wish no longer a dream. Prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Malachi 3:10. The windows of heaven may not be opened and the treasures seized by a strong will, but they open of themselves and present their treasures as a free gift. When absorption reaches such a degree that it results in a feeling of complete acceptance. Of course, this is your imagination of assuming that what you desire to be is already. The passage from your present state to the feeling of your wish fulfilled is not across a gap. There is continuity between the so-called real and unreal. To cross from one state to the other, you must simply extend your feelers, trust your touch, and enter fully into the spirit of what you are doing. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts. Zechariah 4:6. Assume the spirit, the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and you will have opened the windows to receive the blessing. To assume a state is to get into the spirit of it. Your triumphs will be a surprise only to those who did not know your hidden passage from the state of longing to the assumption of the wish fulfilled. The Lord of hosts will not respond to your wish until you have assumed the feeling of already being what you want to be. For acceptance is the channel of his action. Acceptance is the Lord of hosts in action. Chapter 14, the effortless way. The principle of least action governs everything in physics, from the path of a planet to the path of a pulse of light. Least action is a minimum of energy multiplied by the minimum of time. Therefore, in moving from your present state to the state desired, you must use the minimum of energy and take the shortest possible time. Your journey from one state of consciousness to another is a psychological one. So to make the journey, you must employ the psychological equivalent of least action. And the psychological equivalent is mere assumption. The day you fully realize the power of assumption, you discover that it works in complete conformity with this principle. It works by means of attention minus effort. Thus, with least action, through an assumption, you hurry without haste and reach your goal without effort. Because creation is finished, what you desire already exists. It is excluded from view because you can see only the contents of your own consciousness. It is the function of an assumption to call back the excluded view and restore full vision. It is not the world, but your assumptions that change. An assumption brings the invisible into sight. It is nothing more nor less than seeing with the eye of God, i.e., imagination. For the Lord seeth not as a man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. First book of Samuel 16:7. The heart is the primary organ of sense, hence the first cause of experience. When you look on the heart, you are looking at your assumptions. Assumptions determine your experience. Watch your assumption with all diligence, for out of it arise the issues of life. Assumptions have the power of objective realization. Every event in the visible world is the result of an assumption or idea in the unseen world. The present moment is all important, for it is only in the present moment that our assumptions can be controlled. The future must become the present in your mind if you would wisely operate the law of assumption. The future becomes the present when you imagine that you already are what you will be when your assumption is fulfilled. Let's read that one again. The future becomes the present when you imagine that you already are what you will be when your assumption is fulfilled. Be still, least action, and know that you are that which you desire to be. The end of longing should be being. Translate your dream into being. Perpetual construction of future states without the consciousness of already being them, that is, picturing your desire without actually assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, is the fallacy and mirage of mankind. Where you want it, but you think you can't have it, where you want it and you feel like you need it before you can actually feel it. Like, well, you know, I want money, but I can't feel safe unless I have money. Well, tough titties. You're going to be wanting money for a long time. You have to learn how to master your emotional state. Hence why we do the energy work, the shadow work, the powerful breath work tapping to clear these parts of you that just hold on and think that you need that thing outside of you to help you feel a certain way, to help you be a certain person. It doesn't work like that. You have to, whether you like it or not, it is what it is. You have to be willing to feel safe around money first, and then the money starts coming. You have to not freak out when it looks like the money isn't there. You know, like what's you know the saying, like, your worry doesn't change anything anyway, so no point worrying. Yes, except it does change things because it makes things worse. So you have to do everything in your power to just stay calm, be emotionally strong, emotionally calm, have this inner calm knowing. And when you do, you'll see that everything actually does work out. Okay, so let's keep going. Let me read that one more time. Perpetual construction of future states without the consciousness of already being them, that is, picturing your desire without actually assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, is the fallacy and mirage of mankind. It is simply futile daydreaming. I think we can maybe fit in one more chapter. Okay, chapter 15, the crown of the mysteries. The assumption of the wish fulfilled is the ship that carries you over the unknown seas to the fulfillment of your dream. The assumption is everything. Realization is subconscious and effortless. Assume a virtue if you have it not. William Shakespeare, Hamlet. Act on the assumption that you already possess that which you sought. Blessed is she that believed, for there shall be a performance of those things which were told her from the Lord. Luke 1:45. As the Immaculate Conception is the foundation of the Christian mysteries, so the Assumption is their crown. Psychologically, the Immaculate Conception means the birth of an idea in your own consciousness, unaided by another. For instance, when you have a specific wish or hunger or longing, it is an Immaculate Conception in the sense that no physical person or thing plants it in your mind. It is self-conceived. Every man is the Mary of the Immaculate Conception, and birth to his idea must give. The assumption is the crown of the mysteries because it is the highest use of consciousness. When in imagination you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are mentally lifted up to a higher level. That's why earth has to go up to heaven, and that's how you do it. You go up to heaven and you go up to heaven basically, and heaven becomes earth in your state of mind by assuming what you want, by expecting the good, by thinking thoughts of praise, of gratefulness, of abundance, of thank you, of yes, I can. And that's how you take your mind into a state of heaven. When in imagination you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are mentally lifted up to a higher level. When through your persistence, this assumption becomes actual fact, you automatically find yourself on a higher level. That is, you have achieved your desire in your objective world, in the outside world, so it manifested physically. Your assumption guides all your conscious and subconscious movements towards their suggested end, so inevitably that it actually dictates the events. The drama of life is a psychological one, and the whole of it is written and produced by your assumptions. Learn the art of assumption, but only in this way can you create your own happiness. Okay, so next book club meeting, we're going to be doing chapter 16, personal impotence. Okay, yes, let's see where it goes from there. So I would love to know, what have been your highlights and takeaways from our reading today? What has spoken to you most? How are you going to use the law of assumption in your life? Or do you have any questions, any maybe blocks or issues or problems, any places that you're trying to use this, but you just can't quite get it? Please put it in the comments. I would love to have a discussion about this. After all, this is a book club. And if this has helped you, inspired you, or transformed you in some way, please share this. And if you haven't already signed up to be part of my email community, click the link with this at spiritualsuccessjourney.com/book club archive, where you can get all the replays to this, plus sign up for free to my email community, where you'll get notified of future book clubs, as well as my other events and free trainings and special offerings and programs coming up, and of course transformational teachings right to your inbox. Okay, now the secret word for today is kitty, like a kitty cat, Kitty, kitty. So all you have to do is comment on this at least once, wherever you're watching it, on either YouTube or Facebook, and DM me the word kitty, and you will get a secret training to help drop you into your power and change your life. Now, if you are the type of person where you want more in life, where you know that you were born for great success, where you are really willing to actually put in the work and to take the risks and do the things, but you have these blocks, these anxieties, these fears, insecurities, maybe even physical health issues or emotional issues, or just plain overwhelm and overwork, or its converse side, resistance and procrastination, you have anything in the way of your success, then my unique method can help you to overcome anything holding you back. I have some powerful low-cost offerings, plus my private clients, they have phenomenal results. Okay, this will change you on the deepest levels of your subconscious, so that you free yourself from your generational issues, so that you feel free to actually follow your soul, which is often different to society's rules and your parents' rules and what people say you should do. Okay, so I'm here to help free you, to help drop you into how powerful you truly are. If you want one-to-one work, please message me, ask about it, tell me about your story, and I'll see if you're actually a good fit. Now, I never pressure anyone into working with me, because this is heavy duty emotional clearing work, shadow to light alchemy. So I only work with genuinely eager people, determined people who understand that just like losing weight at the gym, it's not just a one and done thing. My type of work you use along your regular work, okay? Just like going to the gym, just like you do your business every day or most days, you also add in my work, and it just clears your energy and it puts you in such a high vibe state. It clears your sabotage before it even happens. And every time fears come up as we work together, we basically dismantle them, change your mind, drop you back into God consciousness, and really put you on the right path so you don't go too far off track, and you will continue to achieve more and love what you already have, which is the foundation of having more. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me today. As you know, I'm Kai D. Clifford. If you haven't shared this yet, please do, if that's something that interests you. And as I said at the start, make sure you like and follow or subscribe. Whew, okay, my voice held up. Okay, thank you so much for being here today. I want you to remember that you get to choose your reality. Bye.